Okay, Year 11, welcome back. We'll do exercise 2D today, which is displaying and describing numerical data. I will work through question 2 and show you how to create a frequency table with class intervals and how to do a histogram properly. Question 2 has you look at data for 20 students and how much money they're carrying. And we need to, number 1, construct a frequency table for the data, including both number and percentage in each category using intervals of $5 starting at 0. I'll then go on to create a histogram for it and show you some of the key features of a histogram as well. All right, so if we have a look at our data, our lowest number is 0. You can't have negative dollars. Well, you can if you owe money, I guess. And our highest number is $23.60. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight those two values because that's going to dictate how big my table and my graph are going to be. All right, so you set up your frequency table. On one side it's going to be money carried, on the other side it's going to be frequency with number and percentage. Now we have to use class intervals and it tells us to start at $0. So your first interval is going to start at $0 and it's going to go to $4.99. That'll keep it within that $5 interval. The next interval will start at $5 and go up to $9.99 and $10 to $14.99 and so on and so forth until we get above our highest value. Now, our highest value is $23.60, so we can stop at $24.99. All right, let's start tallying things up. So between $0 and $4.99, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So write the number 13 under frequency. Now we need to find a percentage frequency, remembering that 20 students were asked. To work out a percentage frequency, we take the count, which is 13, we divide it by the total, which is all the kids, and multiply it by 100. So for 0 to 99, it's going to be 13 divided by 20 times 100, which is 65%. $5 to $9.99, we've got 1, 2, 3, only 3 of those. And to figure out the percentage frequency, we do, let's say $5 to $9.99. That's going to be 3 divided by 20 times 100, gets 15%. And so we write that over in frequency. Okay, so you go do that for the rest of the intervals, count up the frequency and make sure that you have accounted for all of them by checking that your total actually does add up to 20. So 13 plus 3 is 16, plus 2 is 18, 19, 20. Likewise, once you've done your percentages, make sure they add up to 100. So 65 plus 15 is 80, plus 10 is 90, 95, 100. That should be 100%, or if you've got decimals and you end up having to round off, maybe just a smidge above or a smidge below. Right, this question asked you only for this frequency table, but I'd like to show you how to create a histogram using this data and point out some of the key features of histograms while we're doing it. All right, the rules for histograms. Just like bar charts, your percentage frequency goes on the vertical axis, the y-axis, and the other variable goes along the x-axis. How tall the column is tells you how many times that particular value happened. Each column represents one value or one class interval. No gaps, please, because it's numerical data, so it goes up on a continuum, and it's the same continuum, so you don't need gaps. And when you're representing class intervals, don't line up the column to put the value in the middle of the bar or in the middle of the column. It's got to sit between. And I'll show you what I mean by doing the histogram for the frequency table that I just did. So here's the axes, y-axis, x-axis. We're going to put frequency up here, and our highest frequency is 13. So I'm going to count up in 2s. Okay, so going up in twos. Along the bottom, we have to use class intervals of 5, so I'm going to count up in 5 starting at 0. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, and the next one would have been 25. Okay, using my ruler so I have nice straight lines, I'm going to put in my values. The first one is 13. So grab my ruler, grab my pen. What have I done? There it is. And we go to 13. The next one, oh, hang on, we have to do the other side of that interval, which is 13. So that'll be our first column. This next column is 3, 2, 1 and 1. Okay, so notice that I'm drawing the lines because I'm dealing with class intervals. I'm drawing the lines, the vertical sides of the column directly above each number. That way, when I finish my columns, they actually sit across a whole class interval. So if I just move that, that shows that 13 people had between 0 and $5. So sitting it across the class interval like that is the proper way to do it when you're dealing with histograms. All right, now if you color it in, you color it all one color, and I'm just missing a few finishing touches like titles and labels. Okay, so a label for frequency, a label to show that we're talking about dollars, and a title just to finish off that histogram. And I think you'll have enough information to finish off all the rest of the questions you've been assigned. The only problem is potentially number 6. You're expected to do it on your CAS calculator. Now, I cannot get the program to work on my laptop, so I'm not going to be able to show you how remotely, but if you can't wrap your head around it, I'll show you once we're back at school. Other than that, good luck Year 11s, enjoy the math, and I shall see you next lesson.